Hello, I am Paige Antonassi and I am interviewing.
Robert Bach with Parkway South High School.
Awesome. And what is the official name of the program that you coordinate?
In our book for the kids, the good curriculum guide, they call it the Business Marketing and Internship Program. Because
Perfect.
we kind of combine business and marketing. 90% of the kids come out of the marketing education though.
Okay.
Got it.
Awesome.
So we only have one coordinator here, and that would be me.
Perfect. And how many students are in the program this year?
I have every semester between 30 and 35.
Wow.
Right,
Okay.
so I have pretty many. I probably have the most in the Parkway schools.
Wow. And do they take it only for a semester or do they take it for a whole
Well,
year?
they'll still take it for both semesters, a lot of
Okay.
kids, but some kids will only take it second semester because that's the way it fit in our schedule because we have block scheduling.
Okay.
Some kids take it both, and some take it for seventh block, which is one day, and some take it for eighth, and some take it for seventh and eighth, so they can get more credits.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So they're off
Yeah.
every day since we do block.
Okay. Nice. What are some examples of the jobs or the positions or employers that the students work for?
When I first started coordinating, maybe 25 years ago, retail jobs were the most popular. But now I'd say restaurants are really popular. I'll have kids at Culver's. Let's see, in all the local restaurants are
Okay.
really popular. I mean, not so much McDonald's anymore, but I have a few at Dairy Queen. I'll have like the Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like that. Panera. Then there are a bunch of retail ones too. Like I have Ross, Walmart always wants to get together. Marshalls is a DECA, like sponsored one. So Marshalls tends to get kids. They want to go there at TJ Maxx,
Okay.
items like that. Now I have a few kids at Target, a few kids at the local, especially kids that might want to get into more of a health area at the nursing
Cool.
facility, like retirement homes.
Okay. Just
Retirements, but they do most of the do food there at the retirement
Oh.
homes.
Okay.
Panera is a big one too. I have a few kids at a law firm. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Subway's popular.
Awesome.
Emo's here in town.
Nice. What is the overall mission of the cooperative program or the department?
The department is to teach kids business type skills and knowledge, and then so they can apply them later in life to their job. So it's kind of career readiness. Most of these kids are outstanding workers too. Even in class, they might be less than stellar, but at work, their bosses think they're like super great. I mean, they work really hard. They have a lot of opportunities because right now there's always jobs available. At one time, it was hard to get a job. So I do have a little bit more turnover at semester. 'Cause normally, the whole idea is to keep a job the whole 9 months, but some kids will have more seasonal type jobs in which they
Okay.
won't be able to get enough hours, so they'll go transfer to another job that might be better in springtime.
Okay. That was one of my questions too. Was do the students stay with their jobs over school breaks?
Yes, so 95% do.
Awesome.
And the whole idea of the mission is to get them to transfer some of the skills and knowledge they might learn in class and be able to transfer that to a job. And even if it's going to be go to a post-secondary career, a post-secondary class like in college or a tech school, so they're more ready for that.
Okay. Awesome. What do you think are 3 traits of a successful coordinator?
Oh, I would say you have to be flexible because kids nowadays, and flexible with employers and kids because they're both coming with a bunch of different needs at different times, and sometimes employers want so much more than a kid can give at that moment.
Okay.
So I think flexibility would be one. Adaptability to be able to adapt with changing times when jobs are plentiful is a lot different than when they can't get a job. Pay has gone up tremendously, so now kids want to switch easier, and they make very good money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And another one, I'd say you have to be patient because anytime you work with students and understanding of them, you know what I mean. You have to be an advocate for the student.
Awesome.
Right.
What kind of check-ins do you do with your students?
So normally they all have to do weekly reports.
Okay.
So they check in a journal, and then throughout the year, then I can go by and visit each one if they're at the same job. And so I'll keep that and then see with their manager. But many times they're not there. So
Okay.
I won't be able to get off till like 2 o'clock, and a lot of kids might not have the 2 o'clock shift. They might have the 4 to 8, really popular. 4 to 9 or 4 to close is really popular. So I would like to be there when their retail sometimes is there, but I just talk to the manager. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
Yeah. And most all the managers, even if it's not their specific manager, would know of this
Okay,
student.
they've always worked with them. Have there been any students you've had to turn away or discipline during their time in the program?
Yeah, I've had some kids that get kicked off. Obviously, typically, if you get fired from the job, you're kicked out. You fired, you get an F, and then you get an F. And some other kids I had to switch because they'll say stuff like, "Oh, this boss is like 19 years old and he's kind of inappropriate with me," or he wanted to ask me for a date and we're about the same age. And I'll say, "Well, how about we just get a different job?" But we don't want to mix those two things up.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes both ways too.
Okay.
But not that I fired the manager,
No.
but you know what I mean? It's like
Well,
we try
yeah.
to eliminate any potential problems.
Not going back with that.
And a lot of times parents will call and say they're working too much and they need to pass school. So I've
Yeah.
had a couple this semester that had to be dropped because their parents wanted them to be off the program.
Okay. Do you prefer physical copies of their documents or having the students upload the items digitally?
I've been doing it for a long time and this is my last year.
Mhm.
So I prefer physical documents. It's getting a lot harder for students to understand. They get paid electronically, so they get direct deposit, but they don't really understand they also have a pay stub that's somewhere out there.
Somewhere,
Yeah, like Ross or Marshalls has it or Walmart has it. You just have to get onto their program and then print them all up. So that becomes difficult. So I think next year the whole school district is kind of getting, one teacher's already doing it, to an electronic upload, and it's a lot easier through Schoology. So I might try to learn it at semester, just that part. If I could learn that, it's a better.
Yeah.
But I do have the kids make paper copies, but since when they were at COVID, they would just literally take a picture of them and upload them. So
Yeah.
yes, I would have digital copies, but nothing fancy. It would
Yeah.
be more take a picture and you send it to me and I have it on file.
Okay. And then last question is, what is the most important skill that you see students getting out of the program?
I would say a chance of their work ethic and being responsible. Responsibility, because they really are, and they want to be off at any given time, then they realize that they can't always get off for homecoming or for this, though most of my employers are flexible. So I would say that how work is a commitment, and I think that's a great skill to have eventually. And they learn team building. They do a lot of problem solving because even at a young age, they might be. I have a couple girls a few years ago that worked at Subway, and they ran the whole thing. The lady told me like they could buy a franchise. By the time they got finished, they put so many hours, and they go, "Mr. Bach, I can't wait to go to college. I don't ever want to see Subway again."
Yeah.
But their boss said they literally, if they had the money, could buy a franchise and
Wow.
run the whole thing from
That's awesome.
the beginning to the end. They did almost everything.
Yeah.
Besides payroll.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
All right.
Well, thank you. I
All right.
appreciate you taking
No,
the
no,
time to let me interview
no
you.
problem. It's a great job to have at the school too. And you get to see kids outside the realm of classroom, and sometimes they shine even more than there.
Yeah.
Yes.